welcome back. It is time for another Craft Roulette process video, and I don't know, in order to sort of make this a little bit more interesting, everyone knows that I was not a huge fan of the purse card. So the interesting thing that one of my friends pointed out was that this Scrappy Tales set that I was saying, when will I ever use these dies and stamps? If you notice, there is a little purse. So I'm thinking we're going to utilize that. There's also a woman with the purse and the dog, so we could use that too. And then we can find good sentiment. I do have some Galentine's Days coming up, so I could use Happy Galentine's Day. And for the color, okay, so purse card is the card type, or, you know, you could use a purse. You know how that goes. Actually, I'm thinking, what if you did the purse, but put it like under the Eiffel Tower, and were really careful about how you ink this, and made sure to only ink the Eiffel Tower? That might be a neat idea. Anyway, we'll see where this all goes. Or you could just, I don't know. Or you could do the scooter. Oh, I like that. Like the scooter with the purse on top of it. That would be neat too. Anyway, so parameters are purse card, a frame, 3 pops of gold, and for that I pulled these Santa Lane gemstones because they're really sparkly. I think that is sort of a fun Galentine's Day thing. And I think those are all the parameters. Let me see. First card, 3 pops of gold for the colors. The element is something beginning with E. Obviously, we have Eiffel Tower. But we have this really cool... it's actually a mirror of the stencil, but this is the paper I want to use. It is... I thought it was pale blue, but it's actually white. Well, it is pale blue, but it's a fairly muted blue. Anyway, so I really want the Eiffel Tower to show, so I think I'm going to cut this upside down. I basically want it to be... Well, I guess I don't need to. Well, yeah, I think I will. Basically, I just want this to be 5.5... Sorry, 5.25 by 4 for our usual sort of A2 size. Except I cut that wrong. So, well, I guess we could do, I want this to be the 5.25 side. Oh well. And then, either of these would work pretty well, but basically we want this by 4. I feel like if I cut this upside down, I would like this very prominent Eiffel Tower. Okay. Cutting accidents aside. And I pulled this card base because I really like the pink colors. So if you matted it, it basically winds up looking like that. And since we miscut a bunch of this stuff, in theory we could use this on the inside if we so desired, or we can opt not to do that. I do kind of like the idea... Except it says heiress, which kind of looks weird, but like I could see this being a fun idea if it didn't have words that were kind of messed up. But anyway. And then I want I want a lot of this pattern paper to show, so I think I'll just cut a 3x4 rectangle. This is my favorite paper ever, which is to say it is the recycled Bristol from Canson, I guess. Anyway, because I like it, because it's about 100-pound weight, and it's coated, so it stamps, in my opinion, beautifully. Did I cut that? I cut this at 4, so this just needs to be 3. May have a new paper cutter coming soon, too. So let's see. If we use the Eiffel Tower is huge. I like the idea that I postulated last, which is let's just put the handbag on top of the scooter, and we already have an Eiffel Tower, so we have things that already start with E, so we can move this stuff. This is actually, like, if you cut the woman out, she can actually sit on the J'adore, which I think that's a pretty cool idea. Anyway, let's just take a look at this. So will we see Eiffel Towers? Most definitely yes. Perfect. That was what I was hoping for. And square or round? I guess square makes sense unless I'm going to round everything, because I do want the pattern paper to serve as the frame here. Anyway, let us dig out our Misty and remove some of our little rabbits from our last project. I always seem to put my Misty away, like right before my next project, if you know what I mean. Like I never get to that phase of cleaning it off first, but maybe that's just the sort of crafter I am. I'm gonna line this up with 4 inches in case we have to stamp twice. And let's see. We were talking about the cute little moped, which I really like grounding kind of on the bottom here. And then because this is, I think I'll grab the Happy Galentine's Day, which is nice because this will give us a bit of room, and we have a little purse. See, the little purse is on top here. I like that. Let's just see with our we can grab our wherever I put our embellishments. I just want to see how these will go together. Whoops. I just knocked that off. But I think we could, yeah, there'll be plenty of room for the smaller embellishments. So that's good. It's kind of funny after my review of this was, I never can't think of exactly when I'm going to use this. And here we are a week later using it, so. I guess if nothing else, the universe has a good sense of humor. And since I usually prefer to color in pencil, this is Catherine Pooler Midnight, which is a pigment or a dye-based ink, I believe. Ooh, that's a little squeaky today. I'm not sure why. Anyway, try to not dye our hands black for once. And the sentiment is upside down, so we will turn this around. And I feel like I've done that about 500 times, but I also feel like it's kind of hard to tell with these stamps, especially when they are brand new. I mean, the nice thing about the Misty is it at least gives you grid lines to set up against if you're doing something like this after you kind of do an oopsie. That is not centered, but I like where it is height-wise. How does that look? That looks pretty good. Especially if we do the if we do the embellishments sort of two on one side and one on the other, I think this will be perfection. Except I think I'll move this. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm not sure. I might just leave this. I think I will, and then I'll color it in, because I kind of moved it a hair, and now I'm not entirely sure exactly where it started from. I think we will. 'Tis the season for pink, so I think we will do a pink and purple purse. There is that, and let's see what other colors. Since the only color requirement here is the gold, really. I'm just going to do we'll have a blue moped. I would have a blue moped if I was a lady in Paris, which I suppose is something of a stretch, but you know, it's a craft project. And I don't know, I actually still really like the way colored pencils tend to look. I'm gonna do a lighter coat here just because there's some really nice detail in this stamp, and I don't want it to totally get lost, even though I basically want the whole thing to be blue. Except I think I'll do something different on the top. And maybe on that front I'll do more of an accent. So we have this nice purpley color. I have some new metallic pens, so I think. Oops. Personally, I think more gray accents, so like more chrome type accents here. So I think I will do that, and then do the same on the mirrors. Whatever that little thing is. Then I'll come in here and do the rims of the wheels. I think we'll do purple centers to just sort of offset things. Let's see what we have as a good tire color. I kind of think of a black or a dark color. Here's a oh, this is a fine liner. Ooh, this would be fun. How about gold tires? Well, this actually works as our 3 pops of gold, so I'll just go and I think I'll do the back in gold, and then we have our 3 pops of gold. That was pretty cool. Just touching up a few of these areas now that we kind of have the color blocked in, it's easier to see sort of where I might want to go back over it. And I don't know what you call this. It's not really sloppy coloring, but I don't know. I like it because it looks sort of, I don't know, not quite as refined as some of the coloring you see. I kind of like that. I think I'll leave this. I think I'll leave this natural because I feel like with the pattern paper you're going to get a lot of busyness, which kind of makes this into a really simple card. But sometimes that can be nice too. Actually, side note, this is the other pattern. How fun is that? That really pops. I'll have to use that one for something too. But today I think we will stick with the Eiffel Tower. I am still really loving these AdTech rollers because the permanent glue roller really does a nice job keeping everything put. And, you know, I am sometimes impatient, so I really like it when things are pretty straightforward. So really, even though I was not a fan of the purse card, and I don't know if I actually am now, but I will say I like the idea of not necessarily making a purse card. Although I did get a purse card die, so I may try and do a real one at some point. But I actually like this. I think this is a fun card, and I don't know, I feel like friend Valentine's Day cards are always a little tricky to come up with because you don't really want, like, I don't know, like you don't really want to get too much into sort of the love sentiments, I guess. And I actually do like the pop of gold as the wheels a lot better than I think I don't know. Jewels probably would have worked. Could have used jewels on like the wheel caps too. Although one would have kind of, like the back one wouldn't have made sense. But anyway, that is what I have for you this week, and hopefully you enjoyed the card. I very much enjoyed making it, and I love making cards like this that are like, you know, a 5-minute card to put together, especially during the week, because, you know, almost you could do this with minimal supplies. Basically, what do you need? Like a card base, a paper cutter, some pattern paper, some colored pencils, and like I just enjoy cards like this because it's like they're just so accessible and easy to use. But let's see what is upcoming. I got some swag you guys won't see for a while for my crafting convention at the end of the month, and there's probably lots of Valentine's Day stuff happening because I am in a couple Valentine's Day swaps, so we have cards to make. Anyway, talk to you later. Thanks for checking this out.